let me in, yeah.
Hey guys, what's going on, dudes? It is David here, and we are back with another video. Now, in this video, guys, we're going to be talking about a specific NASCAR driver that currently drives in NASCAR. Now, in today's video, we're going to be talking about how I've learned to gain respect from him, because at the start of his career, I liked him. Then there was a point in the career where I did not like him. Like, I wouldn't say hate this guy. I dislike this guy very, very much. But over the past 2 years, I've learned to gain respect for him. Now, his teammate, funny enough, I actually dislike right now. But today's video, we're going to be talking about Brad Keselowski, and this video is not going to really be talking about anything about it. This is just going to be basically my opinion on Brad Keselowski and how I feel about him as a driver and as a person. Because you gotta remember, Brad Keselowski's been competing in the Cup Series ever since 2011. That is 9 years. That is 9 years to this year. 9 years he's been in the Cup Series. He is a champion. He won the 2012 championship. Actually, you know what? That actually shocks me. I think he was actually competing in the Cup Series full time in 2010. Or was it 2011? I think it was 2011 was his first season full time. And then 2012 he wins the championship. That's very, very impressive. Now, I mean, a lot of you know that Brad Keselowski has gotten involved in a lot of incidents with certain other drivers, most specifically Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin. But in the past couple of years, 1 to 2 years, it seems like that has been really calming down, and that's actually good to see, because I think it's Brad Keselowski maturing as a driver, maturing as a person. Over the time, even Kyle Busch has matured as a driver. I mean, you still see him get involved in some of the stuff, but you don't really see him get involved in as much stuff as he was before. Like, specifically, one of the memories I have for Kyle Busch is when he took out Ron Hornaday and got parked. You don't really see Kyle Busch doing that type of stuff. Kyle Busch has a family now. Kyle Busch has a kid. Kyle Busch has a wife. So that changes people. And when it comes to Keselowski, my big incident with Keselowski was the 2014 Texas race where he got involved with Jeff Gordon. That ended up costing Jeff Gordon a shot at the championship, and he would have won Homestead because he sat on the pole, he led the most laps at Homestead, so Jeff Gordon was going to win that 2014 championship. But that was 6 years ago. I moved on. I slowly moved on past it, but now I've come to respect Brad Keselowski as a driver, and I actually kind of like Brad Keselowski as a driver. It's just because he has earned my respect, to be honest. Because the way he's been doing his driving and talking about his driving has been very, very respectable. I think it was last year in Daytona, he said that if you block him, he's not gonna back off. And I respect that, because he's saying what he's going to do, and then he's going to do it. And that happened to William Byron, unfortunately, and William Byron blocked Keselowski, and William Byron suffered the consequences for blocking Keselowski. But if a driver says something and they're gonna do it, then you have to respect them for it. Unless it's like an incident where they're going to take the other person out. But in this instance, Brad Keselowski, everything Brad Keselowski basically says, he backs it. Like, most weekends, Keselowski's always battling for the wins. I mean, Penske Racing this season hasn't really been like up to standard where they used to. I mean, Joey Logano did win, I think it was Las Vegas. But it seems like this year Keselowski's been on a down year, and I think that's him, like, figuring out what he's going to do for the next step of his career, because I think Brad Keselowski's, around 34, 35 years of age, and this could possibly be his last season with Penske Racing, which would actually be shocking. Now, if we all remember in the Nationwide Series, Brad Keselowski drove for Junior Motorsports, which is Dale Jr.'s team, which is basically Hendrick Motorsports, like, I forgot that word, but basically, after you finish JR Motorsports, you go into Hendrick Motorsports, or some team that's aligned with Hendrick Motorsports. So everybody expected Brad Keselowski to do that, but at the time in 2010, 2011, the driver lineup for Hendrick Motorsports was Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Casey Kane, Dale Jr. That is a very good top four lineup. So Brad Keselowski had to look somewhere else for his future, and he found that in Penske Racing. He's been there for 9 years now, and maybe it's about time that Brad Keselowski moves on and finds a new path for his career, maybe he could be back at Hendrick Motorsports, because the 48 car could possibly be available next season. And if it is available, Keselowski, I say now that the whole Kyle Larson incident has gone and passed, I think Keselowski is very much the top driver for that 48 seat, if it actually is going to be available, because nobody really knows if Jimmie Johnson is going to retire or not. But if he does, Keselowski is going to be the perfect seat. And Keselowski, the way he is right now, Keselowski would be a very perfect driver for Hendrick Motorsports. He's already been around that team. He's already been around Hendrick Motorsports. He knows basically almost all the people there. He respects Jimmie Johnson. He's raced with Jimmie Johnson. He's learned from Jimmie Johnson when he was at JR Motorsports, because Jimmie Johnson was still at Hendrick Motorsports. And he's a mature and very strong driver that can compete for wins. And that's what Rick Hendrick wants in that 48 car. He wants a guy that can win, that's mature, that doesn't make really much any mistakes, and can help that team grow. Because if you look at Hendrick Motorsports now, Jimmie Johnson is the only veteran on that team. They need a veteran driver on that team to lead them into the future. So if they were to get, like, let's say they get another young driver like Noah Gragson, that would just be kind of weird, because then Alex Bowman, I think, would be the leader of that team. And Alex Bowman is still kind of young. You would have Alex Bowman, Noah Gragson, Chase Elliott, and William Byron. That's all guys under 30 years old. Can you imagine not having a leader on that team? That'd be kind of weird. So Rick Hendrick wants somebody mature and a leader type person to be in that 48 car and to lead this Hendrick Motorsports team into the future, which Hendrick Motorsports is hoping that they can improve and become a competitive team again, because last 2 seasons hasn't been so good for them. They haven't been in the Final Four in the NASCAR playoffs, so yeah. But in terms of Brad Keselowski as a person and a driver, I very much respect him and the way he drives, like the way he drives right now. So yeah, I've grown to like him now, and that's basically simple it for this video. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please do smash the like button. And also, guys, if you guys want to find out which is the driver that I dislike the most, then smash the like button. But anyway, guys, I will see you guys all later. Peace.